Okay, so you're all set for your Oscar party. Now we turn to another expert to get the inside scoop on who will take home the gold. I'm joined by Rotten Tomatoes senior editor Gray Drake to get her take on this year's awards. Good morning, Gray.
Hey, Sean.
You are a vision. And I see pink in there. Is that a fuchsia? You look great. Okay, so here's my deal. Here's my thing that drives me crazy. Let's take a movie like Groundhog Day, right? Groundhog Day. We love it. We cherish it. It's part of our lexicon. And yet it gets something like that. It lasts forever, but it gets no Oscar love. We see this great disconnect in popular culture where the movies that stay with us were not necessarily Oscar movies. Do you think that's still a problem?
Oh, absolutely. There are definitely movies that don't get the kind of award recognition that they deserve. But you know, the universe always tends to balance itself out. So for every movie that meant something to us like Groundhog Day, which I also love, so that was a great choice, there is a movie like The Godfather, for instance, that has also withstood the test of time and won a ton of awards. So I think at the end of the day, what's important is that we keep bringing up movies even though they don't have that distinction of having won a trophy.
Right. So Rotten Tomatoes, though, kind of evens the score a bit, right? You have the people's vote, you have the critics' vote. It kind of is the fair system. Let me ask you, what was the highest rated movie you guys had? I think it's Zootopia. Am I correct?
It is. It won the Golden Tomato Award this year and is also a nominee for the Oscars. And, by the way, it's going to win. It's
going to win for Best Animated Feature, you think?
Yep.
Right, but not, so your highest rated, shouldn't it maybe be in, I mean, I guess Up, right? Up was a Best Picture, but should Zootopia be up for Best Picture?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, there's always been a lot of discussion about animated features being nominated for Best Picture, and that has happened in the past. It's really challenging for an animated movie to cross over into that Best Picture category, but it has happened.
So you have your ear to Hollywood. You have the inside scoop. How political is, how many nominated films this year? Like, is it 8 or 9, something like that? It could be as much as 10. How political is...
I think 9.
How political is the Best Picture race?
The race is always very political. The movies that have a lot of funding behind them, that have the ability to keep screening and keep in the critics' and voters' consciousness for long periods of time, are often the most recognized. But there are also really good examples of movies that are just so darn good that they've captured everyone's emotion. And regardless of anything behind them, they just keep moving. So you can kind of tell when you work in the industry and you're talking about, you know, Academy Awards over and over again, can see what's kind of captured people's interest at that exact moment. And so in the Best Picture race, for instance, La La Land is a really safe bet, but Moonlight is the movie that people keep talking about very passionately.
Right, and especially with the more integration and Oscars and stuff like that, and all the talk from last year. Do you think Moonlight has a really good shot of pulling off a not-so-upset?
I absolutely do. I think it has a great shot. Mahershala Ali is definitely going to get Best Supporting Actor.
I love him from Luke Cage.
If he doesn't, yes, he's so good. He's always fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's in Hidden Figures too. He's had a killer year, and I would really love to see him win that trophy, and I believe that he will.
Oh, there you go. Okay, what's one picture real quick that you think kind of got jobbed? Should have been a Best Picture nominee and didn't, according to you and Rotten Tomatoes?
Boy, I got to tell you that the movie that I really lobbied for was Sing Street. This film is available streaming on Netflix. You have to go and watch it immediately following this interview and show, of course, because it is so good. It has such great heart, such amazing songs. It makes you feel really good, and that is a thing that I really value these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Gray, thank you so much for the suggestion, and enjoy Sunday. Have a good time.